Everybody has been talking about P. Diddy, haven't they? Saying he's been freaking off with Donald Trump, Elon Musk and Jay-Z and all of this. Well, Godzilla Kaiju GK is here to destroy and divide the conspiracies, lies, jokes and keep the truths out. This video was written from pure memory and no research, so don't get mad at Godzilla Kaiju GK. Now, Puff Daddy aka P. Diddy is the Bad Boy Records CEO from the 90s and a rapper and producer, but he has been caught exposed for doing freaky things this year. Now, before these memes and allegations came out, there have been rumors about P. Diddy being a very freaky and strange guy. But none of them were confirmed true and were mostly just jokes and conspiracies. Some include: P. Diddy is gay and likes men. P. Diddy killed Biggie and Tupac, and we will get into the Tupac situation later. Me being Godzilla Kaiju GK didn't believe any of these and didn't want to. But after hearing about how P. Diddy used to throw parties with a bunch of men, I am starting to realize these might be true. Months ago, Puff Daddy was exposed for beating up his wife singer Cassie Ventura with a vase, and he was also exposed for drugging and smashing women. But the men? Puff Daddy said he used to live with Usher in the early 90s. This is when Usher first got famous with his song from Poetic Justice called Call Me a Mac, and he was signed to LaFace with TLC Babyface and whatever they call the LaFace cartel. Now, I do not think P. Diddy was getting freaky in the early 90s, and I mostly mean 1990 to around 1993. Diddy was first working with Uptown Records, and he was a backup dancer for Uptown Records with Andre Harrell, Father MC, Jodeci and Mary J. Blige, and you can see him all in the music videos for Father MC. I do not believe P. Diddy was doing his sex crimes at this particular time. We will explain that later in the video. One thing is, P. Diddy was raised by a huge criminal father, and Diddy grew up to be the same way as him, even though Diddy's father was shot and killed for snitching when Diddy was 3. Back to what I was saying before. Now around the time Father MC changed his name to Father in 1993 and Mary J. Blige released her first album in 1992 and got famous as a solo artist and not just a background singer for Father MC at Uptown. In 1993 Puff Daddy made his record label Bad Boy. Around this time in 1993 Biggie dropped his first single Party and Bullshit and got famous. Of course this song has Diddy talking all over it, which became Diddy's trademark in a lot of his artists' songs. He might have wanted to be the main character. Biggie and Lil' Kim were dating in 1994. This is around the same time Lil' Kim was dating Father MC in 1993. Now Bad Boy became a famous record label around this time, and Biggie dropped Ready to Die in 1994. The same year Junior Mafia was made, and the same year Biggie met Faith Evans and she got signed to Bad Boy. This is still when they were cool with Tupac and his men. Now in 1994 Biggie, Lil Cease, Puffy and his friends and Tupac, Big Stretch and his friends were at Quad Studios in New York hanging out and recording music. Tupac got robbed and reached for a gun, then got shot, and he thinks New York. Bad Boy and Big Stretch set it up. It was the infamous Dirty Oh So Dirty Jimmy Henchman who actually set it up, and Tupac knows this but still thinks Big Stretch and Bad Boy did it. So they develop beef over something that's not their fault. 1995 Big Stretch gets shot and killed, and it might have been Tupac and his men who caused this to happen in revenge. Now we aren't here to talk about Diddy lore, but I got carried away. Now here is where we get back into talk about Diddy again. 1996 This is when Tupac and the Outlaws linked up with the mob Pyru Bloods for protection and stuff. This is not Tupac first rap beef either, for those calling Tupac fake. The beef Tupac had with Mac Dre in the early 90s that got Mac Dre arrested was his first known rap beef. That beef had horrible outcomes including death. Now back to the Diddy and Bad Boy. Tupac was at his all-time highest ego and revenge-seeking level, and this was a threat to Diddy and Bad Boy. Now this does not mean that they were scared. Diddy, Bad Boy and Junior Mafia had way too much for them to be scared. They didn't want to go to war with Tupac and his men because they know he's not their real enemy. This beef is one-sided. Tupac drops "Hit 'em up" and Bad Boy hears it. Biggie and Diddy beg their men not to respond. Lil' Kim does not give a she does not care and makes a song called Big Mama Thing. The boys heard and they did not like it. Diddy and Biggie begged Lil' Kim to not drop it to avoid the beef getting worse and people getting shot and killed. Eventually they settle and Lil' Kim changes some of the lyrics and Jay-Z gets on the song and just talks about random stuff with no concept just to fill in the verse. Now I'm not gonna say what the original song said because this is not what the video is for, but you can go and look at it on YouTube if you wanna hear. Now in "Hit 'em Up", Tupac says he slept with Biggie's wife Faith Evans, and of course Biggie knows that this happened. There is also a picture of them together which I will not put up because I am too lazy to work with the video editor. Even though Tupac slept with Biggie's wife, he first was going to smash Lil' Kim, but of course she did not allow it. Now back to the juice. Tupac, Suge Knight, Yaki Gaddafi from the Outlaws and some friends went out to see his Tupac friend Mike Tyson fight at the MGM Grand. When they left the arena and were walking through the building, a dude from the Crips, I forgot his name and I'm too lazy to look it up. I think his name was Trey. Anyways, this Trey dude pointed out to Tupac and his men that Orlando Anderson aka Baby Lane, some Crip they had beef with from some time ago, was there. Tupac and his men beat brakes out of Baby Lane and walked out to go to Club 662 to party. After this, Baby Lane and his uncle Keefe D rolled up in a car and shot Tupac in revenge. Now when this happened, it was big news of course. But for Bad Boy, this isn't too good. The night Tupac got shot, Puff Daddy got on the phone with a friend and asked, "Was that us?" This could tie him to Tupac's death. Diddy was good friends with Keefe D and word says that Diddy had a hit out on Tupac. Now what I believe is, this is a coincidence. Diddy might have had a hit out, but Tupac beef with Baby Lane got him killed before Diddy's hit could. Therefore, I do not think Diddy killed Tupac. Months later Tupac's friend Yaki Gaddafi got shot and killed, but that isn't the point. In 1997, Diddy and Biggie want to go out and party in LA, but this is where the enemies were at. Biggie, Diddy and a ton of celebrities including the group Escape go out and party, but when the night is over, Biggie, Lil Cease and more get into Biggie's car while Diddy is in the car in front of them. Now, a gangster named Poochie was there. Poochie was here to look for and kill Biggie. This Poochie dude is a good friend to Suge Knight. Now when they stop for the red light, Diddy runs the red light and gets away. Poochie eliminates Biggie and Biggie passes out and dies almost instantly from the 4 quick shots. Poochie kicks Biggie's car and walks away like it never happened. Now Biggie is dead. Diddy might have felt something bad was gonna happen but still wanted him and Biggie to go to that party. Now Biggie is dead. The Juice's Keefe D shot Tupac and he was good friends with Diddy. Poochie shot Biggie and he was good friends with Suge Knight. So me and plenty of others believe Suge Knight got Biggie shot in retaliation for Tupac murder. Now this destroys the theory that Diddy killed his friend Biggie. Now back to the lore. This is March 9, 1997. Now that Biggie is dead, here comes a new era. The new Bad Boy, Mace, Cam'ron, The Lox, Black Rob and more. We are now in the era where Diddy is becoming his worst. 1997. When he started his solo career as a rapper and began throwing huge Diddy parties and more. Diddy had high ego at this time. This is the Diddy party era that this whole video point is supposed to be about. I will not talk about his new artists' breakout careers since this is not what the video is for. This is also the year that Jay-Z dropped his second album and he was one of the biggest rappers in the world now and not just a regular famous New York boom bap rapper down with Bad Boy and Nas. This is the late 90s through the early 2000s. Puff Daddy, Shyne, and Jennifer Lopez go to this party, and J-Lo hands Diddy his gun and he starts blasting up the place. Then he went over to a specific woman and shot her in the face and they left out of there. This incident caused Shyne to go to prison and Diddy walked free. After this incident in 2001, Puff Daddy changed his name to P. Diddy to try and clear off the dirt. Speaking of Shyne, people have no right to speak on him and act like he's innocent. Shyne knew what was gonna happen at the club that day. But also, he is half innocent. He took the fall for Diddy but he didn't pull the trigger. Similar incident months before involving Diddy took place at Hot 97. Now Foxy Brown and Lil Kim had beef over some stuff Lil Kim had with Foxy Brown. For the most part this beef wasn't very eventful until this day, February 26, 2001. Capone and Noriega's men, who were friends with Foxy Brown, were outside of Hot 97 while Lil Kim was doing an interview there. The Junior Mafia and C Gutta and some friends also rolled up there to argue and talk about the beef. Minutes later they all started shooting at each other's men and I believe it sounded like the Battle of Waterloo. But after this silly shootout, neither any of the Junior Mafia or their men got shot, or Capone and Noriega's men got shot. Now this isn't the point, but it is unbelievable how dozens of men from both parties shoot at each other and nobody's crew gets hit. I believe one person got shot but I forgot who it was. Now after this incident, only person who got arrested was Lil Kim. And the reason is because she didn't snitch at all about what happened or who did it or why it happened. Back to the Diddy. Both of these crews are friends with Diddy, especially C Gutta and Junior Mafia including Lil Kim. This can tie back to Diddy and the Junior Mafia's criminal ways in the past. But we will not talk about the men in the Junior Mafia further incriminating them. Now back to the Diddy parties. Now at these Diddy parties, we have his friends. That includes Jay-Z and some of the others I named. At this time he was having oh so much fun at his parties. Diddling people, drugging people, including minors. He was hanging with plenty of celebrities with his huge status. This includes Michael Jackson, Donald Trump and more. Now to Godzilla Kaiju GK. I do not believe Diddy's friends were diddling around with him. Diddy is the bad boy CEO after all. They hang out with him as friends and not to smash kids, I believe. And speaking of kids, Michael Jackson did not fiddle with kids. Back to my point about these allegations. P. Diddy is currently being exposed for being a very freaky guy and hanging out with kids and stuff. But they are trying to bring Jay-Z and friends into it just because they hang out with P. Diddy. Now I am not here to defend no P. Diddy, but the conspiracies and rumors are not always true. P. Diddy did not do all these things and I can prove it. The rumor that Nas and P. Diddy are on video having a good time at the Diddy party, I hope it's false. Diddy beating up Cassie is not a big deal, as you know. Biggie also beat women and put it in his songs. But this is a different case. Biggie is not like Diddy. Next rumor. The one where they say Jay-Z and Diddy were coming out of a room full of kids. Now I don't know why they decided to film that. But they could have been hanging out with him because he's Jay-Z and they wanted to meet him. Now people talking about Diddy's friends knowing about his crimes? That means nothing. It does not mean they were doing it with Diddy, does it now? And them talking about Diddy being friends with R. Kelly is also nothing. They are both famous celebrities and hang out with a lot of others. So yes, it doesn't matter if they were friends or not. This does not mean they were pissing on kids together. And what's wrong with Jay-Z and Beyonce meeting when she was 16? They were friends back then. And Jay-Z waited until she was 19 to start dating. I don't see any problem. About the new case about Diddy and Jay-Z diddling with a 13-year-old girl in 2000? That was just an allegation and is not said to be true. Plus, the girl that accused them did not identify herself. She was just Jane Doe in the documents, and it is easy to lie and hide your name for some money. About the Kim Porter stuff. Now she might have been writing a tell-all book, but this does not mean Diddy killed her. The internet is very stupid. She died of pneumonia, all right. Now it does not matter if Jay-Z and Diddy were friends with Aaliyah before she turned 18. Or R. Kelly. This does not mean anything. Jay-Z and Diddy were not diddling around with her or Beyonce when they were minors. And Jay-Z and Diddy never dated Aaliyah ever in their life. Instead, their friend Dame Dash from Rockefeller was dating Aaliyah in the late 90s. And they were both adults at that time. Plus they were just friends. Dame Dash and Jay-Z from Rockefeller was also down with Bad Boy and them others. And Aaliyah was good friends with them. This does not mean they were diddling around. The internet is making these things up. And this video is not about R. Kelly. But I will have to explain that R. Kelly did not rape Aaliyah either, to my knowledge. In 1993 through 5, R. Kelly and Aaliyah were friends and they made music together. And about the apparent diddling around he did? This diddling was all with her consent. R. Kelly did not have to rape. They were in love no matter if R. Kelly was 26 and Aaliyah was 14 through 15. And it does not matter if they got an illegal marriage at that age either. R. Kelly still was not raping or pissing on her. Now, R. Kelly was pissing on other minors in his day. But not her. And I do not support R. Kelly and I am not defending him. I am just explaining the situation. Now, about the Donald Trump? Donald Trump was a famous millionaire and still is. And P. Diddy was a famous CEO, rapper, and producer at his time. And yes, they could have been friends with each other, but this does not mean Donald Trump was diddling around with him. Take it as if your dad shot a man. Does that mean you joined in to help? Yeah, no, it does not. And I am not defending P. Diddy, but I am explaining the truth about these rumors. And about the Usher stuff? Now I do find it weird that Usher used to sleep with P. Diddy and wrestle with him, but, you know what? I can't defend the Usher or Justin Bieber situation. Now I believe that they were just friends. But that is kind of weird, isn't it? And those pictures of Diddy's friends at a Diddy party and on the big ass bed? This does not mean that they were diddling around in there. They were all famous and those were all his friends. The internet is very quick to make something up about P. Diddy whenever they see him in any situation. Just because you see people at a Diddy party does not mean they were in his freak-offs. And for the people saying Eminem was at the Diddy parties because he was accepting an award from Diddy, you are all fools. Eminem did not like Diddy and he never did, and he will never go to a Diddy party he never been, and I will ride for Eminem until my skin shreds off. Now about this victim stuff? And how all of the sudden all of Diddy friends are victims to you guys. They are not his victims and not everything has to do with his freak-offs. Now about the Beyonce and Jay-Z stuff. This is the stupidest theory I ever heard. You can say Jay-Z and Beyonce are in the Illuminati if you want, but that has nothing to do with Diddy, and it does not mean that they work together for their Diddy parties, and no, they do not run the industry. And nobody is scared to not shout out Beyonce at the Grammys. This is a very dumb theory. And the J. Cole one in the song She Knows? That is some of the dumbest content I seen on the internet. They tried to make Jay-Z's name Sean Carter and Beyonce's name Beyonce Knowles into a conspiracy theory about a song from a decade ago and somehow tie it to P. Diddy. J. Cole says R.I.P. Aaliyah, Left Eye and Michael Jackson in this song. causing people to make stupid theories saying Diddy killed them. Diddy did not kill any of them, and all of them were friends with Diddy, Jay-Z and Beyonce first of all. Except Left Eye, she didn't really hang with Diddy so much. Now Michael Jackson died of a drug overdose. And I don't know how people think Diddy could do that. Michael Jackson begged his doctor to give him the pills and Michael Jackson took them and ended up overdosing. Now Michael Jackson always had a drug addiction since 1984 and he can't control it. And people saying Diddy has a tunnel connecting to Michael Jackson's house have no idea what they are talking about. And the people saying the song by Rockwell and Michael Jackson where he said I always feel like somebody's watching me, the internet says that Michael Jackson was talking about Diddy even though Diddy was a 15-year-old when that song came out in 1984 and he wasn't even famous. Now when they say Diddy killed Aaliyah somehow, I don't know how they can make that up. Aaliyah died in a plane crash. How could Diddy have done that and why? And for Left Eye died in a car accident and it's Left Eye at fault for the accident. She had no seatbelt and wasn't focusing on the camera and was probably high. Now don't go and think that I am happy Left Eye died. Now don't go and think that I am happy Left Eye died. I just said she was at fault. And because of this song people think Diddy, Jay-Z and Beyonce killed them. And Jaguar Ride is not a good source to look at. Most of the stuff she says is just conspiracies that almost don't make sense. Plus she was friends with Diddy and them in the early 2000s so I don't know what she is talking about. And we will not talk about Cat Williams? And we will not talk about Cat Williams? But with this logic you could tie Cat Williams to Diddy, couldn't you? People say dumb stuff like celebrities that have a connection with Diddy are his helpers or his victims, don't they? Well, Cat Williams was temporarily part of the Diplomats aka Dipset in the mid-2000s under the name Money Mike. And guess what? Cameron is part of the Diplomats. And Cameron was good friends with Diddy in the 90s. But this logic doesn't make sense, does it? No, it does not. People just make up stuff. Now I do not support Diddy's crimes, but he has nothing to do with me and his music is still good. He is still a good man behind the crimes and gave us plenty of content and artists throughout the years and we can't take that from him or R. Kelly because of his crimes. And I don't think Diddy is innocent either and I do not think he should be freed. I just think all this needs to stop and we need to talk about something else other than worrying about P. Diddy the whole year. Now Godzilla Kaiju GK says thank you for your time and he will not be doing this again. If you like long videos like this one, watch my Hey Say Godzilla video.